Hello everybody, Casas here from Atake Gamer Zone, and welcome back to the channel. Apologies for doing less and less content. I've been more focused on trying to fully complete Jurassic World Evolution and kind of surviving the build up to Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. So for today's video, this is gonna be a bit spoilery, because I'm going to be discussing a very important scene for me. As you guys have seen in the title, I'm trying not to really point out what scene, but most people will probably guess what scene it is. And as you know, I always like to say in some of my spoiler topics, this is going to spoil a few things, so bear in mind if you go past this point, you guys are going to get some spoilerific content. So now is your point of no return, so turn back now for all those who do not wish to hear. So the movie gets us to a point where we see Bryce Dallas Howard's character Claire Dearing and Chris Pratt's character Owen Grady returning to the island with a bunch of group of mercenaries that's been apparently hired by Lockwood to rescue the dinosaurs. Along with them, they take Franklin, who is a techie for the Dinosaur Protection Group, and Zia, who is a paleo veterinarian who applied to be a paleo vet at Jurassic World, but unfortunately, it all fell apart for her. And they go to the island. They land. They're trying to find the creatures, the dinosaurs to round up, and as they're making their way down the ruined wrecks of Main Street, overgrown and such, they hear stomping. Zia rushes out because she sees what it is, and she gets to see the Brachiosaurus for the very first time walking, and it's a sweet scene. She's overwhelmed by this budding passion for these creatures, and it's in harkening back to the original scene from Jurassic Park where Ellie Sattler and Dr. Grant are just in such awestruck over its majesty and such, and it rears up on its hind legs to just bring itself back down after getting like the top part of the tree and such, and that for many, including myself, as Claire Dearing in the movie uses this line so poignantly of being the first time I saw a dinosaur. We get this scene from her when they're in the Lockwood Manor, in prison basically after surviving the betrayal at Isla Nublar. And, she asks Owen Grady if he remembers the first time he saw a dinosaur. And, this is something that's been used in their advertisement media and stuff as well. And most people don't really, I guess, have put like A to B to C. But for me, it's something, a wordage that means a heck of a lot. Now, the specific scene that I'm going to be talking about, I will first and foremost admit to tearing up and not necessarily bawling uncontrollably, but I mean, it was a pretty hard scene to watch as somebody whose first impressions of a living dinosaur at, age 2 or 3 years old, whenever it was I saw this, was seeing a Brachiosaurus for the first time. And as a kid, that was, the best thing possible. It quickly became my number one herbivore, and it still is to this day. And frankly speaking, Fallen Kingdom, there's a scene where after, they're loading the dinosaurs after they, cross people, and Mount Sibo has blown its top, and lava and all that fun stuff is kind of hitting the island pretty hard. They're trying to get what they can onto the ship, the Arcadia, and they're pulling away. Bryce Dallas Howard's character and Owen Grady and all the others kind of rush onto the boat and stuff. They barely make it as the boat is pulling from dock, and they get out to look back as everybody's just more in spectacle awe of the island. And the most heart-wrenching scene happens when that very same lone Brachiosaurus is seen walking on the docks. It's calling out, I guess, to the ship, because it's looking kind of at the ship when in that scene, and it's calling out to it so sadly, and it's the music is bellowing and such, and it's unfortunately being pursued by lava, and it's slowly encroaching, and as the boat pulls further and further away, it gets enveloped by the kind of, ashy cloud mixture. You can kind of see the orange tint of the lava illuminating it, and it's, shadow. You can see it kind of moving, and then it goes back up on its hind legs and back down for one last spectacular stomp, and that is how we end Isla Nublar. And frankly speaking, this is so hard to talk about because the scene itself is pretty hard to watch as a fan of this JP series in general, because that's the last time we ever get to see Isla Nublar in a film, potentially. I doubt they'll go back to it in the third Jurassic World film, but frankly speaking, you just have to look at this as, what is the first thing that happens in Jurassic Park when we get to Isla Nublar? We see the island for the first time, and the very first dinosaur we see is a Brachiosaurus, not counting the brief snippets of the Velociraptor and the raptor paddock on Isla Nublar, but the first formal kind of introduction, I would say, to the public. And to have to see it sort of in reverse, the last time we see Isla Nublar is the last time we see the first dinosaur we ever saw as an audience. And J.A. Bayona, I want to say, knows what he was doing, and by word, he has done it so well, because I don't think that's the scene that's going to stick out of anybody's mind in the near future. That's going to be something that's going to be so, I think, inherently ingrained, this reaction from Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. There's a lot of great scenes in this that will stay with a lot of people, but I think for most of us, especially us that have this kind of childhood connection to the Brachiosaurus and Jurassic Park in general, will kind of understand and kind of feel differently about that scene. It's kind of like watching your childhood sort of die in front of you. It's not a bad thing. Like I said, I love this movie series. It's great. I'm not saying that this, he's killing my childhood type thing, but it realistically he is. Again, it's not hate per se. It's just it's hard to watch because that's something we were introduced as. The majesty of what Jurassic Park represented was in that Brachiosaurus. It's just purely just that, and that scene to me has that much of a meaning. I mean, it's a proper way to close off the island being gone forever type situation. It's it's still there. It's just right now covered in lava and all that terrible crap. And frankly speaking, it's done in such a masterful cinematography way that I can't help but say bravo to you, J.A. Bayona. You've done a phenomenal job with the second film, and that's this is just not the only scene that has like a harkening back. There's scenes throughout the movie that do it, and I think there's that attention to detail and that love of the series itself that is very evident in his directing of this second Jurassic World film. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. It's kind of hard for me to kind of talk about because I'm still very much reeling from that. I will be seeing the film again for a second time on Sunday, and I think it's still going to be just as hard then as it was watching it the opening night Thursday. So yeah, I get to live with that all over again. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below if you guys have seen the movie already. For those of you that stayed, even though there were spoiler warnings, hopefully you guys are going to be in for just as much of a treat as I am. Words honestly cannot describe that scene. It is by far my favorite scene from Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, as hard as it is to say. So as always, the like button and the subscribe button seem to work for most. Feel free to leave those, and for those that like leaving dislikes, go ahead. It encourages me to try to do better next time, and hopefully I'll keep on doing more and more improvements as I go along. So thank you all again for watching this video, and hopefully you guys have enjoyed the movie as much as I have. This has been Costas. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace and take care.